Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good afternoon. This is Shri here with a quick recap of the Melbourne Test between India and Australia. Australia completely dominated the proceedings and won by 184 runs, having India to chase 340 plus runs in the fourth inning. India started off in a very poor fashion, but settled down with Jaiswal and Punt trying to put up a battle against the Australian fast bowlers after 3 wickets fell. All three of them being all the senior players, Rohit, Kohli, and Rahul. But Rohit and Kohli have been disappointing this year in the series. Kohli at least had a century, but Rohit was completely out of sorts. You had Rahul was actually batting opening with Jaiswal, and they actually did pretty well. But for Rohit to move up in the batting and then Rahul moving down definitely sent not good result for the Indian batting. But coming to the game, we did start with Australia was completely dominant in the first inning. Both Smith and you had Constance was incredible against Bumrah. In the first inning, he had a six from Bumrah, which was pretty incredible. Even hit a six of Bumrah. Coming back to the game, you had Smith, who put on a performance in the first inning. And India could only see Australia take a huge lead in the first inning, but India fought back well. An excellent century, the first century by Nitish Reddy, and Washington Sundar chipping with 50 runs, and India only had Australia lead by 105 runs. But in the second inning, the Indian bowling attack was very effective. They had Australia reduced to 99 for 6, but a series of very bad performances on the field by Jaiswal, dropping 3 catches, which are very, very critical in a match like this. And he let the Australians bat for more, but more importantly, even in the last wicket, they added more than 50 plus runs between Boland and Lyon, who are not known to play the bat, but they're two bowlers who completely dominated the Indian bowling attack. You could go back and look at why the captain Rohit Sharma, who is actually should be under a lot of questions right now for not using his bowlers effectively. You went in with 2 spinners, but you only bowled Washington Sundar 1 over, and Jadeja also didn't bowl many overs in the second inning. So you definitely have to question it. I think India was better off with Bumrah, who won the first test. Excellent captaincy all around by Bumrah in the first test. But ever since Rohit came back, you could see that not only he has failed with the bat, but also failed as a captain. Of course, it doesn't help that your bowlers can't bowl well. Other than Bumrah, no one else was really effective. Suraj actually bowled pretty well in the second half, but the fielding has much to be desired for the Indian team right now. Dropping catches lose matches. But again, in the first inning, this is something that our legend Sunny Gavaskar called out. Rishabh Pant went for a shot, which was very ill-advised, and got out when India was trying to limit the lead for Australia, played a shot over third man and got caught. And of course, that's how he plays, but you have to understand the situation, as Sunny Gavaskar said. And again, it happened in the second inning too. He was actually having a very good partnership with Jaiswal, and it looked like I don't think India was going for the win, because when they had 6 runs per over, it looked like a one-day international. But I thought India was definitely going for the draw there. Give Pat Cummins credit, brought in Travis Head to bowl like 5 overs, but in the 5 overs resulted in 1 wicket where it was a short ball. And the strategy that Head explained after the game was, give me the over and put everybody in the boundary. And that's exactly what happened. Mitchell Marsh got an easy catch in the deep. And it was very disappointing to watch Rishabh Pant again fall in spite of the fact that he played much better in the second inning. I do think that the temperament is an issue. I definitely think as we go into the 5th test, I would like to see some changes. Whether it'll happen or not is a question. I definitely would like to see Kohli, Rohit, and Pant benched in favor of new players. The youngsters that you have on the side, and letting Bumrah actually be the captain for the side. Let's see if that will come to fruition. But all in all, give credit where it's due. You saw Pat Cummins really excel with the bat in the second inning when Australia were 99 for 6. And then in the second inning, he was just phenomenal bowling, and also having the right feel and also making the right changes at the right time to get very critical wickets for his side. So that's where captaincy becomes a huge thing. Australia is now 2-1 ahead. South Africa have already qualified for the World Test Championship. Now it's think it's between Australia and Sri Lanka. India not only has to win the Sydney Test, but has to hope that Australia doesn't win any of the other test matches that they have. So I definitely see that right now the only saving grace for India is to win the Border Gavaskar Trophy by winning the final test match at Sydney. So let's see if India can do that. At this point, kudos to Australia for wrapping up the Melbourne Test. Thanks again for listening.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.